What's going on, Skate fam? This is your boy DJ Cole.
And I am the queen, and this is Boss Talk.
And today we have a special guest with us today. He's been in the game for a long time. He's been skating, and he's also a wood rider. So tell everybody what your name is.
Hey, I'm Jerry, DJ Jerry Beck from San Diego. And what's up, everybody?
What's up, my man? We appreciate you taking the time to come and speak to us today. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of things that actually I found out from your bio because you were actually our featured DJ on the Skaters Konnect app. You gave us a mix, which I've actually played quite a few times.
Yeah, I got quite a few compliments.
Yes, I actually found you on Facebook. I believe you had posted on one of the skate group page. I can't remember which one it was. And you had posted your mix. And I listened to it. I said,
I appreciate that.
Man, this mug is dope. I was like bobbing to it like, okay, you know.
We need a few more mixes so we can do a Monday, a takeover.
Yeah, the Jerry Beck takeover Monday. Yeah, how about that? How about that? So let's start with the roller skating. How long have you been roller skating?
I've been roller skating since I was gotta be like 8 years old, 8 or 9 years old. Because I just remember going to the rink and learning how to do a cartwheel on roller skates as a kid. So that was like the start of like doing all types of crazy stuff.
You started doing cartwheels, and you want to roll first? So you just started with the cartwheels?
Well, the people at the rink, they did like that type of crazy stuff, like jumped on the walls, you know, they would do stuff, you know, off the wall. And I'm a young person, impressionable. And I'm like, I want to do that too.
Okay.
You know? So yeah, you know, and that's where it all started. I just remember those cartwheels, just doing a cartwheel, and then
what was that first rink?
Well, this was in Pittsburgh. It was a rink called I can't remember the name of that. Homewood. It was a Homewood roller rink, okay. And the thing was, like, back in the day, I had braids and stuff, you know, that went back. And when I would go skating, when I would leave, I would have like a dirt ring around my hair from where, like, the dirt, like, you know.
Oh, you was skating hard.
I love that. You know, that was my rink. It was.
So what actually got you into it? Did your parents skate or family members or anything like that?
No, I went and was hooked. You know, I just started doing stuff. You know how it is, that freedom when you roll, and I'm one of those guys that likes to express myself anyway, you know, like to do stuff. I mean, that was like, it was like hand in hand, like,
right.
You know, I get out there, get lost in the music. I'm a music guy. I feel music from the inside out. So, you know, when the DJ starts playing the stuff that, you know, makes me feel all right, I'm like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could do that move, but that song.
That's all right. That's all right. Now, you are a wood rider, correct?
Yes, I am.
Shout out to the wood riders. You guys are everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. we just had them.
We actually
Sweet
just
Pea's
had
birthday.
Sweet Pea's birthday. She was actually on here. Dope lady.
Yeah.
Dope.
And I saw that interview, and that's just a portion of what she does.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she is so humble.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk to her and like the stuff that she's doing, when I see her, she does so much stuff. I'm thinking, how does she split herself in 50 P's, because she's everywhere.
Yeah, she is. Matter of fact,
so shout out to Jamal, both of them. They compliment each other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Those are the talents of a woman.
Yeah. And I knew that they were straight up, like, before I became a wood rider, because I was at Fountain Valley Roller Rink. And then Wood Riders had just started. And you know, and I saw the freshness, because I love things that are fresh, you know, just, you know, like, I just like things that are, you know, so, but me and Jamal clicked right away. You know, I started talking to him, and, you know, he was skating, his philosophy on skating, and, you know, his motivation and his passion, and I was feeling it. And so I'm like, you know, this guy's all right, you know? So, and I don't really connect with just anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not reaching out to try to, like, connect, but it was like, you know, automatic. And so I talked to him a little more, and then, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, it's a wood rider, you know, what do you think of, what do you think of, like, you know, coming in? I was like, I don't know, you know, because I'm my own guy, you know?
Yeah.
I don't, you know how some people need, you know, an entity to give them purpose.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
So, but then when you run across good people, and I just feel like I've been so fortunate in life to run across so many good people, because nobody gets to the top by themselves.
They don't.
Despite what they say.
That's
you know.
Very true. Yeah.
When people tell you, I did it on my own. No, you didn't. Somebody.
Everybody needs somebody. That is very true, because I actually say that a lot too. You know, you can't do a majority of things by yourself. You know, you always need somebody, whether it's a push, whether it's whatever, you know, you're gonna need somebody for something. So now, one of the interesting things that you had mentioned to me is that in the movie Roll Bounce, there was a character that was played by Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
Which that character is actually based off of you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and shout out to Norman Vance Jr., who's probably watching now.
Oh, wow. Hey, all right.
Hey.
He's the screenwriter. So Norman used to come into the rink. So, and this is another amazing thing that happened. There's so many amazing things. So he used to come into the rink, Sweetwater, and, you know, and he rolled. He decided to write the movie, you know, be the screenwriter. So, you know, I don't know how it works, you know, from there, but he sold it to Hollywood, and then Hollywood makes the movie.
Right. So
the first I found out about it is somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, you know, we're doing this movie. I'm like, oh yeah, about roller skating? Well, you're speaking my language. You know, let's go. Find me wherever you need me to be. They're like, oh, well, no. Well, that's not. We want to just talk to you about, like, you know. And I was just like, okay, my little input. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I won't be leaving San Diego. You know? But thanks for reaching out. So basically, that's the way it was, and the way that they portrayed it, you know, I was like that. You know, I was kind of, you know, out there. You know, like I wore the parachute pants, and it was like bright colors and stuff like that. Yeah.
And so when he first told me that, my first response was, he did Wayne Brady, and I was like, but he has hair. Like, how did that work out? But now that you said that you had braids back in the day, so I said, okay.
Yeah, rocking the afro.
Well, some of this boldness isn't by choice.
Okay.
You know, there's a point in my life where I'm like, okay, one or the other.
Yeah. Well, you know, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So it comes with the territory.
And
that's
so
pretty dope.
It just turned out to be like that unexpected 15 minutes of fame. It just so happened that, you know, I was out there trying to, you know, get my music on. Yeah. You know, and I was learning. That was the first rink that I worked at. And, you know, and that rink isn't just popular because of that. That rink, for memories, takes me back to Ice Cube, DJ Yella, and Easy. Before they were NWA, they were CIA, C.I.A. And they would go to rinks, and that's how they got their start. They would go to rinks and do their music. So I never even heard of them, you know? So I'm the DJ, and, you know, I'm a new guy, and they're having them come in, and I had never seen a style like that. you know, like my posse might be for one. And they were like yelling, and I'm like, I never seen nothing but this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you know, it's new. It's like when you just see somebody for the very first time, and that's basically what happened. And so then NWA broke, and as soon as that broke, I'm like, those were those dudes. I'm like, no way.
Wow.
And so I went on and I started like I saw the movie, the NWA movie, Straight Outta Compton, and I was like, are they going to mention CIA? Are they going to mention CIA? I'm like, they didn't mention CIA at all. They said they alluded to, oh, there was another group, but they never said what that group was, you know, CIA. And I'm like, I'm a little disappointed because that was my people. I was there.
Yeah.
Like, I know
they
that they
denied me my 5 minutes.
I know. Yeah. So,
But that's crazy how when you think about how music and the skating rink have always been in a marriage, but a lot of people don't really know that they get their start from some of the rinks.
Yeah, a lot of those groups back then, if you could rock a skating rink, then you was good. You know, that's kind of how they broke their music out too, was at skating rinks. You know, and a lot of people just don't know that.
Yeah.
So,
well, another shout out to P because she's up at World on Wheels, and that's where a lot of groups,
celebrities,
like NWA, you know, they were up there, and so you're absolutely right about that. The rinks were just, you know, they were breaking artists like the LA Dream Team, you know, out of World on Wheels. World on Wheels got a
they have a lot of history. They have a lot of history. So I'm definitely glad they're still around. You know, and I tell everybody, if y'all can go to California, make sure y'all stop by there. You know, it's definitely a dope rink. Definitely a dope rink.
They fixed it up where it's really nice too. I mean, they did the remodel and it just it's very like classy. I think classy is the
it has a good vibe to it. You know, as soon as you walk in, you just feel this vibe like, man, the music is pumping, the people are, and even the way the rink is built is different than a lot of rinks that I've been to. You know, like the floor is actually recessed, so it's actually like a floor down from when you actually you know, come in. That's actually pretty dope. So yeah. Now, as far as
I was gonna say, I'm used to those old school rinks where they have the big mirror ball in the center with those those lights that go up, the star lights.
Oh yeah.
They're like bulbs.
Yeah.
And they get hot, you know, and they're like.
You're telling people your age.
So what were you gonna say?
So as far as your roller skating goes, what rink are you currently at? You know, what is your right now? I know everybody's not really hitting any rinks because of the COVID-19, but you know, when you were skating, where do you normally go?
Well, I go pretty much anywhere, and I hate to be like, oh, that's my only rink, because you know, I've been around so long till I know all these owners, and so and all of them have done great by me. You know, they've all helped me in one way or another. So, and the good thing is that they have adult nights that are on different nights. So therefore, I can go on Tuesdays. I can go to Skate World, and that's the one that I skate at the most. Wednesdays, I can go to Epic Rollertainment, and that rink takes me back to my childhood, because whoever put that together, you know, those things that you see in rinks that take you back to your child, you know, like certain lights and stuff like that. Well, they're all state of the art, but there's something about that rink that I love. Their sound system is just incredible sound system. And, you know, that's kind of important to me, you know, the floor and the music.
Yeah.
You know, and then Fountain Valley. You know, I love Fountain Valley. You know, and Bert, the DJ up at Fountain Valley.
Bert.
Yeah.
Bert.
You know, tonight he's having a party. He's having a virtual party.
Yeah.
A birthday.
Yeah.
His virtual birthday tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has a natural gift to play music. I've never seen a DJ better than him as far as selection, and he does it on the fly. And that's, you know, some DJs will put a set together and then they go in and like, boom, here's my songs, you know, like, and then you're like, whoa, you know, can you play this? Yeah, but you know, they got their set. This dude can just throw things in, and that's like the sign of a good DJ, because when he can work it like that, when he doesn't have his go-tos, his 12 go-tos, he's not, you know. And I've always told him, you know, I feel weird sometimes, like saying, man, you're the bomb. You know, like, you know, sometimes I feel weird because, you know, like maybe he doesn't want to hear that, you know, maybe he doesn't want to hear like another DJ saying, or, you know, like I'm blowing.
You gotta give credit where credit is due. So
hey, I've never seen a ring better than him. And, you know, that's me included. I'm like, I'll be like, that right there. Like, how did he come up with that song?
But that actually speaks volumes as a DJ, because as a DJ, when you can go to another DJ and say, hey, man, you know what? That was a pretty dope set, or he's a pretty dope DJ, and, you know, so forth. That shows a lot about your DJ character, because I know some DJs who just won't do that at all. You know, it's like they just don't want to pay it forward. So let's talk a little bit about your DJing. So what year did you actually start DJing? Do you remember?
1981 or 82.
Okay.
And that was, and it took me 5 years to realize I was a professional, that I had a gift, because I'd be like, shoot, I got my 3 songs. I'll go and I'll play it for you. How much you want to pay? I'll pay you.
But what got you into DJing?
The Sweetwater.
Okay.
That's, you know, that was the bug right there. You know, because I would go in there and there was this other DJ and he would be playing, you know, records and cassettes. And so, you know, I was like, he would want to go to the snack bar. And I'd be like, can I hit play? You know, you take your time. I'll just hit play.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, dear, yeah, go ahead. I'd be like standing like.
Just ready to hit that play button.
I was ready. Hey, and then, you know, things just progressed, and he was like, all right, you know, you can, you know, hit play a couple times. And then it just went from there. And I just remember that's where I learned. See, man, that rink brings back so many memories. That was the rink that I learned how to blend, you know, blend music.
Yeah, and that's very important, especially when you're playing for a skating rink, because the floor is constantly flowing. So you have to keep that flow going. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you know,
and you're hitting play and stuff. I know you weren't on turntables. So at what point did you graduate?
No, they were 1200s.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they were 1200s.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, 1200s are like
okay, because he said he was playing CDs and tapes, and he said hit play. So I was like, okay.
Well, no, yeah, sometimes it was that cassette where it's like, yeah, sometimes it was. Because we had a box of cassettes, and they weren't in no order. I mean, it wasn't like it was neat. We'd be like,
try to find
them. Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
And so, and I just remember getting the cassette and mixing like Hard Times and Debbie Deb for 90 minutes.
Oh,
wow.
Cassette. You know, I'd be like going back and forth, you know, and I think about it now and it's like, so that's you know, how I did it, huh? You know, that's how I learned, you know, but I didn't think
a lot of fundamentals. Yeah, it teaches you a lot of fundamentals, especially when you have to start off with stuff like that, because nowadays, you know, they have the computers that basically do everything for you, you know, and I always look at it as it's a crutch. You know, it's a crutch. I mainly use turntables, and I know some DJs who use controllers, or they call them boards, and they want to go over to the turntable side, and I'm just like, well, it's easier if you learn turntables first and then go over to a controller. But if you go from a controller to a turntable, you're gonna be looking at it like, okay, what is this? You know.
So you weren't using a laptop when you started?
No, when I started in '97, I think Serato was just starting to kind of way out, but I actually started on 2 turntables and records, and you know, buying double records, and you know, all kind of, or taking my mama's records. And
or have you heard his interview?
Hey, you know what
credit cards didn't belong to him.
Well, yeah, I was purchasing stuff on the credit card.
Hey, Raymond, you know what that tells me? That tells me that you look down instead of looking up.
Yeah.
Because people, the new generation of DJs, the last 10 years or whatever, they're like glued to the screen and they're looking at that sine wave going across the screen, like, and that's what they're staring at.
Right.
We grew up and it's all here. So, you know, we're not like, there's nothing to look at. You know,
yeah.
It's
all by ear. It's all by ear.
Yeah, it's all by ear. You know, those cuts, you know, where you bring it in, you know, it's all by ear. So yes, so
now,
definitely
the laptop is helpful. It definitely has changed the game, and it definitely makes it easier to carry all your music and everything like that, you know. So definitely appreciative of it, you know. But I'm also glad that I started during a period of time when we didn't have that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So it definitely gives you a bigger appreciation for, you know, the DJ culture. Not saying that, you know, the newer ones don't have that now, but it's just different, you know. So as a DJ for yourself, what's been the most difficult obstacle?
The paperwork. The paperwork. The paperwork. You know, I've been saying for probably 15, 20 years, I need a secretary, because because when you're the entertainer, it's tough to be the entertainer. Like, okay, I'm gonna go in. I got these songs prepared. These people are gonna love it. Then you gotta like be like, oh, but dang, I gotta chase that money.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have a contract. Then I gotta worry about getting paid and
or I gotta, like, you know, write all of this stuff down and do timelines and stuff. I just want to create. I don't want to write nothing down. I do stuff on the fly.
Yeah, people that are creative, that's all they want to do is just create. They don't want to deal with stuff on the back end. I'm letting somebody else do that. You know, I just want to just let me do what I do. You know, so I definitely feel you on that.
That's the toughest thing about what I do. Everything else is easy. I mean, I do all types of music. I mean, all types of events.
Yeah.
I mean, ethnic. So if I go do like a Middle Eastern wedding, I don't just like look for and study the culture and their hit songs. I go deep.
Yeah.
Deep into it, because I want to make sure that I have places I can go if I need to step out of that.
Yeah. You have to do your research.
Spot.
Yeah, you gotta do your research.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely gotta do your research. So that's why it's important for people to understand the difficulties it is of being a DJ. It's not just pushing a button. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just playing the right song at the right time, you know, which is very important, but there's a lot of stuff on the back end that we have to do as DJs, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, but one thing that really helps me out too is, I mean, you could do research, but you know, you do have to have, you know, God's gift, because you can tell somebody how to be a good DJ or how to play to people, but you know, that's all personal perspective. You know, like what I feel like is a good song, that other person may not feel like it's a good song.
Right.
And so I feel like this. I came up with this term, and it's called neural impulse DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be neuro impulse DJing, and then I got a letter from Tony Robbins, and I found out
time to write you a letter. Okay.
I found out the hard way that he owns that.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So I changed it to neural impulse DJing, and basically has to do with the brain and how the brain receives sounds, and what you do when the brain receives these sounds. And so what I've come up with, I mean, there's a lot of things that that encompasses, but one of the most important ones are the three biggies. The rhythm, which affects the will immediately. That's why when you hear a nice beat, you know, like a nice beat, you're like, dun 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 dun. Yeah. So you're like, hey, you know, like walking to the floor, tripping, trying to get out there.
Yeah.
And then you have the harmonies, which affect the emotion. So the harmonies are, you know, major chords, minor chords, you know, major chords happy, minor chords sad. So not necessarily sad, but melancholy. So that's why your biggest hits are major chords, songs that have major chords, biggest crossover hits.
Yeah.
And then of course, lyrical content. I mean, if a song has, you know, lyrics, because they either take you back or take you somewhere. And so those are like some of the elements that are in music that affects the brain, that makes, now me knowing that type of science, if you will, scientific, you know, analysis, that helps me go into anywhere and play music for anybody, you know. And that's why, and I feel like, you know, I feel like I've been around so long till I've stood the test of time. You know, because, you know, DJs, they become a DJ and then, you know, it's cool. Maybe they like the women, they like the glory, you know, like, you know, they like when people, and I don't care about that stuff. You know, I care about playing music that reaches people on the inside so they can feel what I feel, because I really feel music. You know, I feel, you know, like I just feel music.
Right.
And that's my goal. So that's my goal, to motivate people, to motivate and excite people with music.
And that's what
for both of you, because one of the things you said was being able to read the crowd and feel how they're feeling, and you kind of feed off of that. So you know, in doing that, and when you do your research, like you said, that's only one part of it. Because you can do research. If you don't have any talent to put it together, it makes sense. But how do you guys, when you're, because you, like you said, you are people that are looking down, and you're actually working the mechanics of making the music. So how do you, or when you look out, like, how do you read the crowd to know when I need to change, or maybe this isn't the right song? Like, if it's 50% of the crowd, 30% of the crowd, how do you kind of gauge that song selection or choice and move to the next thing?
Well, a lot of it has to do with, you know, once you know who your audience is, you know, because that's first and foremost, you got to know who your audience. Once you know who your audience is, and this is how I do it, and every DJ may do it differently. If I know who my audience is and I know that sound, of course I can't play that sound all night, because it's probably very small, right? So you put it strategically, because you need to have stuff that you can be, I want to take this crowd here. And so I need these songs to do it, but I don't want to keep firing them, these hot bullets at them.
Right, they're going to get tired of it.
Boom, boom, boom. So now you start pulling those other ones that aren't completely fire, because I think about, like, when I'm doing a party, and this is not just a skating party, I go into a rink maybe twice a year now, and I do it for, it's unfortunate, but rinks don't pay. And so, like,
it's for the love of the culture. It's for the love of the culture that you come.
Exactly.
No, it's not the money.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go into a rink and you just kind of read how people are skating. If they're skating like hard for too long, you have to gauge it, because you want people to stick with you, right? You want people tired, but you want them to still be stimulated and excited.
Right.
But you don't want to wear them out like, I can't even walk anymore. So I'm leaving an hour before the session is over.
You have to find a good balance.
Okay.
A good balance.
That's pretty much what it's all about, a balance, because one of the problems as a DJ at a club or even at a skating rink is that everybody who's there feels like the DJ is playing for them.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and they make a request. They want to hear that request right then and there. They don't understand how it has to be worked in.
Right. Exactly. They don't understand the demographics behind it. So that's one of the things, is finding that balance, and also, like he was saying, knowing your crowd, because you have some crowds that aren't a dance crowd. Right. And they're sitting down and you're thinking that they're not enjoying themselves, but in all actuality, they are.
Yeah. They just came to mingle.
So you kind of have to know, as you said, who your crowd is, what to play, when to play, how to keep that balance and keep everybody happy. That's probably one of the toughest challenges right there, is keeping everybody happy. Yeah. Which initially, really and truly, you're not going to make everybody happy.
Right.
But most people, as long as you play that one song that they really like, they're good for the rest of the night. So it's just finding what that is. So
worlds. So I have I play for a lot of people, so not everybody's a skater. And so, like, if I promote that I'm going to be at a rink, then you get those people who don't skate to just come. I'll be like, hey, what's up? You're not skating? They're like, nah, we're just chilling. You come to a rink and chilling? Okay, well, there's no dominoes, there's no chess, like, you're just gonna sit here. Well, okay. He's like, yeah, okay. All right, well, let me know if I can play anything for you.
And one thing that you said, I want to go back to where you said that you want to recognize people that influence you, like Big Bird. And you're able to openly say, this DJ is dope. Like, how do you feel like how is it with DJs today, in that arena where it's kind of, I don't know what the word would be, like we
were talking about that before. It's cutthroat.
It's really cutthroat. And what kind of advice would you give to those younger DJs that are coming up? Because as people, like you said, you can't make it to the top by yourself. So you do need that step up sometime, or hand up, so what kind of advice would you give to those young DJs that are coming into this game, and, letting them know it's okay to say, this guy's dope, or this girl, for that matter, is dope, and how, as a community of DJs, that we can excel if we just stick together?
One of the biggest problems, I think, is that the DJ community don't stick together. A majority of them does, but a lot of them don't. And they feel like, well, As a matter of fact, we were talking about this earlier. Well, I can't share this with this person because of this. I can't share this with this person because of that. But as you said, everybody needs help. Everybody has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've helped plenty of DJs, you know, with music, equipment, you know, because at one point in time, I was them.
Right.
And being that I started from an era that was way back when, I don't mind passing my knowledge onto them because they're getting it from somebody who started way back then and not starting right here and direct. Plus, my theory is you can have the exact same music that I have, but we're not going to play it the same.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Right. And that's one of the things as DJs that I also tell the ones coming up, you have to find a way to separate yourself from everybody else. If you like a way a certain DJs, okay, that's cool. Learn some of their style. But go to someone else, learn some of their style too, and then make your own style. Don't copy them directly.
Right.
Because I don't want to go to, we'll just say, a skate party and hear a different DJ playing the exact same way that another DJ does.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, it's really hard to play the exact, well, I guess, you know, it's hard to like try to play, not unless they copy and mix the same way, because so if you could play the same songs in a row, but don't mix it, then you sound horrible, you know? So you don't sound the same.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. But I do think that a DJ, to learn, you have to find somebody that you like and that you kind of want to be like, and then you form your own style based on that. Because, you know, I did it coming up. I mean, there's DJs that you know, I would see, like, even though I mentioned Dennis Blaze, even though he worked for me, that guy is so good.
He's dope. Dennis Blaze is dope.
Yeah. And so, but, you know, I would tell him, at the time, I would put DJs in clubs. And so, and he was one of the DJs. And I felt like he was so underpaid. You know, I was like, man, this was like many, many years ago. It's like, man, I'm only getting $150. I can only give you 125. You know, and I'll take 25. That's how good he was. But, you know, to keep him fine-tuned, and I just remember him coming up and I used to tell him, Dennis, you're working too hard. Work smart, not hard. You know, and that's probably how he got into those mixes. Because I'm like, you're doing all this stuff live, dude, you're sweating. You know, I got to bring you, you know, a towel and all this stuff, you know, like make sure you have fluids in you and stuff. Like, dude, you know, do it a different way. And so look at him now. He did.
Yeah.
And there's DJs, and you mentioned the advice I would give to DJs coming up. One is to be open to somebody telling you, you know, like, hey, you know, maybe you should try this way, or because I found that, I mean, I don't like inject myself, you know, and if I hear a bad DJ, I tune it out, you know, I turn it off, you know, because if I don't turn it off, you know, it's gonna hurt on the inside, you know, it's gonna be like, oh,
be like, oh no, yeah.
And so there's a DJ that I've been mentoring for probably the last 4 years, 5 years, and he's come around. And the things that I've told him, he's listened to, and they were all little things, you know, little things like, if you're mixing the record and it's off, don't keep mixing the record, because you mess up the vibe. Right. Because it's almost like a good song, and then in between that song, something that's like sandpaper, and then another good song. But the sandpaper, by the time you get to that next song, the sandpaper scraped your skin off. And you're like,
Too late. You already killed the mood.
Yeah. And so so those types of things, and, you know, and how to space them out, how to make a skeleton, you know, a skeleton of the songs that you want to play for the night, you know, at the rink, you know, have every third song, you know what it's going to be somewhere. Mm-hmm. And then based on the crowd, that's how you put your songs in so that you can play them. And he's come around. So, and I feel like he's like the perfect student, because he, you know, he's receptive to things. Mm-hmm. And now there's other DJs where, like, there's you know, there's some that, you know, or not some, there's just, you know, a guy that isn't really good, but he's in that mode where you really can't tell him, like, you should do this. You just have to cringe. It's like, I can't take it. You know, and like, all right, I'm just gonna, and that's why people wear headphones, because it's unfortunate, but in the rinks, you can't hire a good DJ. That's why you see owners playing music, you know, or the floor guard playing music, because they're making, I don't even know what minimum wage is, but if it's like $5.75 an hour,
yeah,
you know, and that's what you get. You get a DJ that makes $5.70 or $6, whatever it is, whatever.
And that's how they're playing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but something that both of you said, which is very admirable, is that you don't mind sharing your knowledge or sharing your music or sharing, you know, everything you have with someone who's coming up, which is just a great thing to have. And I think if people realize that, you know, what's for you will never pass you by, mm-hmm. they could understand and encompass that and be able to share with other DJs and not feel threatened.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because that's another big problem in the DJ world, you know, whether it's clubs or skating, it's just a DJ world, period. Mm-hmm. Is you'll find some individuals who they feel threatened by you, and because of that, they kind of shun you, mm-hmm. you know. And
you know what? You're going to have that in life, period. Yeah. You're going to have that if you do anything good, and you look at it as a compliment, you know, because nobody's coming after you when you're whack. Right. You know, nobody's trying to kick you when you're already down.
That's true.
You know,
when you're making that sandpaper, nobody cares.
When you're doing the sandcastle, that's when they're like, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And so, I mean, you have to take the good with the bad, and just keep stepping, and just you know, understand that there's always some good out there with people. You just do your thing. You know, I was telling you that I ran the San Diego DJ Association 6 years. Mm-hmm. And so when I just remember when I was, you know, somebody had actually approached me and was like, hey, Jerry, you know, you want to be a member of the DJ Association? And I looked around and like, well, wait a minute, I want to be around people who like are doing stuff, you know, like I mean, I don't just want to be a part of a DJ association just because it's a DJ association, you know, because in my mind, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, this is what I can do to make us all money. And this is where I was saying that people are going to think, you know, I was crazy. You know, DJs, you know, still, you know, they're like, man, I can't believe you did all that stuff. But once I became president of the DJ Association, I had to build up the attendance. Mm-hmm. So we had like 5 members, you know, I'm like, okay, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're about to make the biggest DJ association in San Diego. Mm-hmm. Then I started pulling in people, started attracting, you know, telling them like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to band together. We're going to walk as one. Mm-hmm. We're going to walk as a unit, because we're not going to make money if everybody's trying to like, you know, oh, no, I'm better than him. No, you know.
And that's true. That's true. Yeah. There is strength in numbers. There is definite strength in numbers.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know, that if we as DJs, if we all band together and just created this, I mean, it will be unstoppable, you know. But there's so much division in there. That's what keeps such a big gap in between, you know, certain DJs and, you know, where they are and where they're trying to go and everything like that. So, but that's actually pretty an interesting concept that you took to them, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, instead of us being individual, let's just be together and we can accomplish so much more together.
And initially, were they very receptive to that idea, or was it a little bit of pushback, or how did they?
It started out being pushback because just what Raymond had said about like them being, you know, fearful, like, you know, what's going on, because that is the culture in the DJ world, you know, like, you know, dog eat dog, stab them in the back. And I wasn't like that. So I had to show them that I wasn't like that. You know, you can tell them, but, you know, they're going to stand back. And that's what they did. They're like, okay, let's see. Yeah. But then when I started putting thousands of dollars in their pockets, they're like, Jerry's the man. You're all coming up. High five, man. High five. Yeah, Jerry's all right. You know, and that's what it took, because I started doing things once I unified. I got a big group of DJs, and then I unified. Then I went to the venues, and I'm like, here we are, not here I am.
Right.
You know,
right.
I could have sold my company, like, you know, I'm the president. So, you know, I was like, here we are. If you are going to use, and I started getting exclusive referrals, like, you guys only use our DJs.
Yeah.
True. Right. And I can guarantee you that you will have this, you know, this service and this service and this service. Man, the DJ started working. And that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how you stay, you know, employed. And then I knew that, I mean, I guess if it's the wrong person and they have that type of power, then they start like, ooh, I can get all this for myself.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like that. I was all about sharing. And I know that these DJs are going to remember that, you know, coming up. And hopefully I impacted some where they do the same thing and help others, you know, help others.
We had an individual in here not too long ago, Carter. He's semi-retired DJ, but, you know, he had said something. He said that there's enough to go around for everybody. And it really is.
It is.
You know, it really is enough to go around for everybody. So, but as a DJ, man, you know, like I said, I listened to your mix. I loved it. You know, it was nice, clean transitions, because like DJ Scratch says, transitions matter. And they really and they really do matter. Yeah. So, you know, definitely keep it up. Yeah. Looking forward to a lot more mixes from you. We're always going to chat it up, you know, because, you know, we have good conversations. So especially, you know, with the DJs, because me and you been through a lot of similar stuff. So, but I want to fast forward real quick.
Hey, I admire you, man. See, you know, that's what I was telling you too. That's, you all are like a gift. And I don't know how I do it. You know, I was talking to my dad and I was like, you know, I've been so fortunate, one, to have you and my mother as my mother and father, because I got both of y'all. But I meet such incredible people in my life, you know, that, you know, impacted me like where you would never even, you know, expect. I just remember like one of my friends was like, Jerry, this is when I'm trying to get into like the DJ game. Like, Jerry, you need to buy a tux. I'm like, what do I need a tux for? You know, like, who wears a tux?
Yeah.
They're like, Jerry, you're gonna need a tux, and you're gonna need equipment because I'm tired of you borrowing mine. So he would let me, and I didn't really think about it then, except that, man, what a nice guy. He would let me, when I go book these gigs, he would let me use his Sherwin Vegas. You know what Sherwin Vegas are, right? Carpet to sit on the floor, big old things where it breaks your back. And he would let me borrow, you know, his stuff to go do gigs. And, you know, I never forget those people. I never forget those people. That's why I said, you know, you don't just pop up and somebody helps you along the way.
Yeah.
And I've run into a lot of people, YouTube, having my mix on there. And that mix that I did, I think very differently from a lot of DJs. I like play the way that I feel.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not like a go-to, I would rather not be a go-to type of, a go-to songs type of DJ. Like, oh yeah, this is the number one song, and,
Right.
I really like to create that magical vibe. And so when I did that, I was thinking, this is stuff that if I put it together correctly, it'll be embraced by people who don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's what inspired that. So there was inspiration behind that, not just like, I'm gonna make something, it's like,
yeah. That's like,
but,
when I do a mix, it's like, I don't never like just putting a mix together and just throwing it out there, like, I like to kind of tell a story. I like it to be interesting. I like it to be entertaining. I don't just want to go from one song to another song to another song to another song. That's what everybody else does, so it's like I kind of wanted to be, because as DJs, we have to be entertainers. That's essentially what we are. We are entertainers.
Absolutely.
We are to make you forget about the mess you're going through, your work week, your hard time at home, just whatever it is. We're kind of like your stress relief. So we have a job to entertain. So the DJs that are serious about their craft, you'll hear it in their music.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You'll hear it in the way they play their music, and you'll hear it because they're not just playing radio stuff. They're digging. They're finding new stuff to play. They're finding stuff that you never heard before. They're, looking for that aha moment. Like, man,
right?
Where did you get that from? Or, so forth and so on. So yeah, definitely dope, man. Definitely.
Well, I don't put any music in the videos, those tutorials that I do, and I do that for a reason. One, I don't want like I don't want to be like pigeonholed. Like, oh yeah, this is the music that he uses or whatever. But when they come into my class, I'm gonna have like probably nondescript dope music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
I'm gonna.
We did want to talk about your videos, because right now during the quarantine, you've actually been making some really, really dope videos for the skate community.
Man, I'm having fun.
And you know what?
They're hot.
They're really easy to follow.
Very.
That's what I like about it.
And it's not long.
They're not long at all.
Yeah.
Not long at all. So what made you start doing that?
Because I'm out of work, because I'm a DJ. This is
what an out of work DJ does.
Yeah. My business is gatherings, and they've stopped that. So I'm thinking like, well, what else do I love to do? Well, I love to skate. So that mentality kicks in again. It's like, I'll help people. I'll help people. I'll show people what I know, and they're either gonna like it or they already know it, and then they're gonna disregard. But the point is, like, I'm gonna show people some things that they could possibly do, and so that's how those videos came. And then a couple of the rinks had said had wanted me to like come to their rink and teach afterwards. So then I thought, well, this might be an opportunity to actually earn a living if I still don't have a job. Like I can teach at the rink. And so that's kind of, what, I was going for too. Like, I'll probably go back into the rinks. It depends on like what happens, like if May and June still, I mean, all of the events, I'm booked all the time. And then there's one event that was in June. It's supposed to be for 50,000.
County fair.
Yeah.
County fair. 50, literally. They get 1 million people through the gate.
Yeah.
So
they had like some hot names on there. The Isaac Brothers, TLC, McBride, Train.
Yeah, well, they
Little
canceled.
Dolls. You're hot. You're on the key with them.
Yeah,
You're
you
hot.
work hard. Yeah.
Yeah, but they canceled.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, you know.
unfortunately, everything is going on. Yeah.
So that's kind of how, like, you know, the tutorials came around, and then I'm just having so much fun doing it, you know, just showing like
Yeah.
We can tell you're having fun
Yeah.
doing it too.
yeah,
You know, that's the whole thing about it. So, yeah.
yeah. And
So
then
one thing you said was you thought about doing this for the skating rinks, and you said you know a lot of the owners at the local rinks. So
right.
do you feel like most of the rinks that you do frequent that they're fluid, like financially fluid, and they'll come back, or is it some that you think they might be on the fence and maybe you maybe lost a few of those or lose a few of those when all of this is over?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, you know, like, you know, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, you know. Now I've done that, you know, my entire career. And so I'm not sure, like, I know one rink, they definitely, you know, want me to come in there. The other rink, they mentioned it, but you know, you kind of never know.
Yeah.
So, and then I don't want to like get in the middle of rinks, like, oh, Jerry's here. No, Jerry's here. No, he's with us.
Right.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and I don't want to get into that because, you know, I love them all. You know, they and I don't want to, you know, any bad blood, you know. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Hey, but I do want to tell you this. I'm going to make another video today, but I made this song. And so originally, here's how it developed. And it was like the last 2 days. This is the crazy thing. I was going to take I fly by the seat of my pants. So I was going to take all the moves that I did, you know, because I was going to stop doing the tutorials after the quarantine. And I was going to take all of those and put it in all those moves and put them all together in one, like a line dance.
Okay.
Well, I gotta step up my game so I can have it all together.
Yeah. And so then I thought, you know what? If I do that and I put it over like somebody's song, because people do that all the time, you know, they use a song and make a line dance about somebody with somebody else's song. So then I thought, wait, but if it gets, you know, if it becomes a hit, then I'm using somebody else's song.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I thought, and I don't really, I mean, I do a lot of remixes, but I don't really make a whole song, you know, because I don't know if you have Ableton or anything like Serato Studio. I have Serato Studio.
Yeah.
So, okay. So all of those little pieces of the song you put together, you put in, like when you're remixing, you're taking, you know, big chunks of the song and remixing it. But when you're making a song, that all of that, that's like 3 things you got to touch right there.
Right.
You know? And so I thought, well, just make the song. And so, and you probably know when you're doing stuff like that, like where do you start? You know, now there's a beat arrangement. What beat arrangement am I going to use? You know, what chords am I going to use? Oh, there's only 3 million instruments. What instrument is it going to be?
Right.
You know, like, and how long is it? I mean, there's so many variables. So make a long story short, I finally got it done. And so now I'm on the mix down. And the only thing that I love the music that I made. The only problem is I'm talking in it. And it's like, there's something about me and my whole, because I'm not a rapper. I mean,
nobody likes their own voice.
What is going on with you these days? You all say the
their
same
own
thing.
voice.
I don't like my voice. I don't like the.
But it's a scientific fact that most people do not like the sound of their voice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I hope. Yeah, but you know, some it's true. Some it's true for them, and it's true for me. I would not make it as a rapper or a singer. So when I'm putting the today I was thinking like, oh, finish it today, and then I would give it to you, and then you could, if you want to use it like for one of your parties, because it could double as, like the moves that I came up with. You can do off skates too, and that's kind of what I was gonna use it for as well. But then I'm mixing my voice down into it. I'm like, oh, it was great until I heard my voice.
That's okay. If you need me for the hook, call me. I'll do the hook for you.
I may anything to spruce it up. Like so I'll probably have it out there probably tomorrow. Maybe today. I mean, today or tomorrow. I just got to like hear what to do with my voice.
Well, I need to know. Hold up. I need to know in what order is the sequence for the line dance going, so I can go back and practice in that order.
Well, it's gonna be like a typical line dance where there's four directions.
Mm-hmm.
So one is the downtown. So you have to learn that one.
Okay.
And then
downtown.
Yeah.
And then your videos, right?
Yeah.
I'm writing this down because I'm gonna be on the video.
Yeah. What I wanted to do as far as the video is do a Zoom, but have 9 people around, and I would be in the center, and it would be a formal video, like a real video, and then they're all doing it from their place. So I would need you for that.
Okay.
And so
I'm gonna observe.
Okay, so I got the downtown. What else do I need?
The downtown. The second one is step backs. It's the step back, like when we were doing a crossover, but we would be step back. So there's 4 of those. And then there's the shuffle. We did the shuffle with the pivots, but we're not doing any pivots because that'll mess people up. And I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, but still look cool. Okay. The pivots, 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, hold. And then you roll forward because we got to roll, because we're on skates. And we roll forward, and then a 4-count turn. Dun, 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 and then you start all over again. Go in a different direction.
Now, these moves are all on your videos.
Yes.
That you're putting out there now, correct? Okay. Yeah, just want to make sure. So, because, like I said, the videos are dope. I've looked at them.
I really appreciate you saying that because you never know. And the biggest fear, the reason why like sometimes people don't go further is the fear of rejection.
Yes.
You fear that, like, and even though I've been doing it a long time and I'm very confident in my abilities, I was thinking like when I make this song, man, what if nobody likes it? What if I give it to somebody and they email it back to me and say, nah,
I'll take it back.
Jerry, we really didn't want that song, thank you anyways. Like, you don't even want it in your library? And so that's like the biggest fear. And that really, really means a lot to me, you saying that about those videos, because I go on and I know they're not slick videos, but they're just not slick videos.
But they're right to the point.
Right to the point.
It's right to the point. You're there to learn a move. You teach the move very well. Mm-hmm. You're always smiling in it, so it's enjoyable to watch. I gotta cut that out. Good energy. I gotta cut that out. No, seriously, it's good energy. Yeah. So for anybody that's listening or even watching it, make sure you guys go to his social media so you guys can actually, watch his tutorials, especially those of you who are starting to learn how to skate. Yeah. And, a lot of people are like, man, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? And, a lot of it's balance, but it's good to, just like with the DJ, find somebody who you can get the basics from and follow them, learn from them. Yeah, add yourself to it. Don't do it like me. Do it how it's comfortable for you. But here is the baseline right here. So
add your personality.
There you go. There you go. Add your own personality, because we all got our own personalities. Some are good, some are bad, but we all got our own personalities, you know. So how can they follow you and reach you through social media?
My Instagram is at Becks4Music, BECKS4Music, and Facebook Jerry Beck or Beck's Entertainment. Twitter is at Becks4Music.
We finally got somebody who gave us their Twitter.
I know somebody actually knows their Twitter.
Yeah.
Most people like, I know I have it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So speaking of videos, I've seen some older YouTube videos of you where with flashpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you did one. Was it kleptomaniac?
Yeah, with as yet.
Yeah, that was hot.
Those are good people. I mean, I go to NAMM every year, and we always
That's one of
meet
my
up.
bucket list is NAMM. That's
Oh yeah, man. I've met so many people and befriended, not just met, but befriended, like Chris Valentine from Maroon 5. I mean, every year we meet up there, you know, and we all have our own little areas that we go to. He's the guitar guy. And so, and as yet, I mean, they just, you know, they got 3 new people, but, you know, 2 originals, and they're just good people. Man, those guys can blow. Whoo, they can blow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. NAMM, if you ever make it to NAMM, hey, if you next year, January, that's when they have it here in the States. If you can make it, I'll meet you up there.
Definitely.
In fact, okay, this is on tape here.
Okay.
If you can make it, I'll get you in, because you can't just go.
You can't just go.
Okay.
I'm there.
Okay.
Let me start saying on my change now.
Yeah. You can't because if you imagine every recording artist in America is at that show, and they're just walking around freely. So they try to limit who's Stevie Wonder. I see him every year. You know, I didn't see Quincy Jones last year, but I saw him like 2 years ago. I mean, there's so many people. There's so many like these superstars, and if you don't know who they are, I mean, if they don't have face recognition, you'll be walking right by them. Yeah. Because they're there for the same reason that, you know, you're there. Yeah. And so anyways, they limit people. You know, they limit I mean, if you don't have affiliation, or if you're not connected with a guitar brand or with this or with some company, you ain't getting in. You know, and so
I remember that. Y'all heard that, right?
It's on tape.
Yeah. Hey.
January.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Well,
man.
that's if they even allow group gatherings in January.
Yeah, because they're talking about all this stuff. So we'll have to see.
I hope they don't, because the NAMM show is the bomb. It's just the bomb. It's you know, great. And then it gives us a chance to hang out, somehow give back to you all, because you all been so good to me. So
we appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
We're waiting on that Monday takeover when you send us, you know, a whole slew of videos to do the Monday takeover.
Okay.
You hit your phone.
There you go.
There we go. He got excited.
I know. Hold on, I gotta plug my phone in.
Okay.
We're not gonna keep you too much longer here.
Okay.
Again, you know, greatly appreciate you taking the time out to speak with us and everything, and you know, just giving us some of your knowledge and your feedback, and
definitely we appreciate your support. We appreciate your videos.
Yes, definitely. Make sure you guys go and watch his videos. Yeah. Go watch his videos.
Okay, and you have to get the downtown, the step back, the shuffle without the pivots.
Yeah.
Go forward, and we're gonna do a 4-count turn. So practice.
4 count. and then boom.
He's gonna have auditions because he's gonna pick 9 people or 8 other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also gonna take the video. I'm gonna make it a challenge.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna put the challenge on. I don't know if you're familiar with this platform, but it's called TikTok.
Please do not say that.
So many TikTok. Oh my God!
So I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it a challenge. You know, to you know, put a little piece of it. You know, one turn. You know, one sequence, because I don't want to do the whole sequence where like my back is to. You know, I want the front, show how it's done, and like boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm waiting.
But definitely, you know, again, thank you for, you know, stopping by, well, videoing in by. This is through Zoom.
Thanks for having me. It's just,
oh,
you know,
yeah, no problem.
You know.
And shout out to the Wood Riders.
Definitely.
You know,
love them.
Yeah, shout out to the Wood Riders. You guys are doing amazing things. And to everybody who is tuning in and listening, or will be watching the video, we appreciate you guys stopping in. As always, if you guys have any suggestions, you guys can always send us a message. We're very vocal on Facebook, Instagram, Skaters Konnect. Make sure you guys download the app, share the app, because again, this is a platform that is for the skate community. This is not for me. This is not for the queen. This is for you guys.
You can give the app a gift.
That app is bomb. And
thank you.
And I really, really need it now because I want one of those shirts. And so I'm gonna go on that. As soon as I hang up, I'm gonna go on that app and I'm gonna purchase me a shirt.
There you go.
You heard it from the man himself.
You heard from the man himself. Yep. So while you guys are doing that shuffle, he'll be wearing a shirt.
All right now.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you. So much. Appreciate you very much. Appreciate you very much. And we will be speaking soon. Okay?
Okay. All right now.
All right. You have a good one. All right. Everyone else, we will see you guys on the wood.
On the wood. Here we go.